Welcome everyone to our virtual open evening. I do hope this is the last time we have to have a virtual event. As things move on, then I'm looking forward to being able to actually sort of see people in real life, and for all of you out there to be able to come and enjoy the college physically. This evening, we just want to try and give you a sort of sense of what the college is like and what it's going to be like to have an experience of being a student here. We're doing these things live, so there might be a sort of a few glitches along the way, but I think that gives you a better feel for who and what we are, rather than taking something and putting it out there. Now, because we are live, then that does give you the opportunity to ask questions. And if you want to put those in the chat, then if there's any which are very general, then we will do our very best to answer those at the end. And if there's any which are really specific and just apply to you, then we might try and get back to you individually and sort of see what we do to answer those. So anyway, I'm Mike Kilbride. I have the absolute pleasure of being the principal at the college. And this is a sort of college that I take great pride in leading. It's a sort of college which is really sort of unique to the area. And I want to sort of start just by telling you a few facts about the college. It's very easy for me to assume that you understand and know what a sixth form college is. And I think that would be sort of wrong on my part. So a few details to help you give some sort of sense and perspective. First of all, we are relatively large. We have 1,400 full-time students. All our students are full-time, and that's very important. I stress that. We don't have any part-time students, we don't have any part-time courses. When people come to the college, it's a full and immersive experience. So that's what you get when you come here, an experience which is not just about doing your subjects, but of being able to enjoy all the other things that surround that core part of your education. In terms of the profile of our students, all our students are over 16. They all fall into that age range of 16 to 19. So we don't have any of what some people might consider mature students, who would be over 19. And we also don't have the young students of below 16. And that means that we have a very, very different environment and atmosphere to that of a school. One of the things that people comment upon when they visit the college is that despite the fact there's 1,400 students here and 200 staff, they say it's a very relaxed atmosphere. It's a very calm atmosphere. And I think that is partly to do with the fact that our body of young people are a little bit older, and that helps ensure that there's a slightly more mature atmosphere in this place. We're also a specialist institution, and by specialist I mean that we only do academic courses. So we do the A levels, the BTECs. I'll say a little bit more about those in a few minutes. But whilst we're a college, we don't do some of the things that people might think of as traditionally being in a college. We don't do things like engineering, or we don't train electricians. We're simply an academic college specialising in academic qualifications. In terms of how we do, well, we do pretty well. We are outstanding in all areas and have been outstanding in all areas for a number of years. That's our Ofsted rating. Beyond that, we do have a national reputation. We've won many, many national awards for a whole variety of things we do, including being awarded the Sixth Form College of the Year by the Times Educational Supplement, and we've had other awards from the Times Educational Supplement as well for a range of other work that we do in supporting our young people. So we have a national reputation for excellence and a reputation for being innovative. And that all comes to the performance. Ultimately, you want to come to a college where you're going to be successful. And that success can be measured in many ways, and we do. But perhaps the most important measure for you as a prospective student is that you're going to get a good set of outcomes which allow you to move on to the next part of your life. And we do have outstanding academic performance. We are consistently at the top of the league tables or performance tables for Merseyside. Of course, we don't have those performance tables this year, and probably won't have them for next year either, because of how COVID has impacted upon us. But we take great pride in the fact that the students who come here enjoy an experience, but also are very, very successful in terms of the academic qualifications that they get. So just a few more things about the academic qualifications that we have. We have 39 courses on offer. Now, that will seem a lot. You'll be coming from a school, and in schools you might do sort of 8, 9, maybe even 10 GCSEs, and there won't be much choice. And people will look at this and think, 39 courses, why on earth do you need 39 courses? Well, when you move from GCSE to A-level, you need that choice. A-levels are very specialist because what they do is they prepare you for either a particular area of work or apprenticeship or a particular academic course at university. So you've got to make sure you do the right courses, right A-level courses or BTEC courses that prepare you for the area of work and or study that you need to do. And so having a large array, having a large number of choices is really, really important to make sure that you're going to be as well prepared as you possibly can be for those next steps. And those 39 courses are divided. We have 28 A-level courses. A-level courses, I'm sure you'll all be familiar with, are very, very traditional academic courses. And we also have 11 BTEC courses. Our BTEC courses sit alongside our A-level courses and their A-level equivalents. And they tend to be slightly more practical, but still very, very academic in their nature. So you can do a BTEC in sciences, and so you can do A-levels in sciences, you can do a BTEC in business, and so on. So there's some choices there. If you want to know more about those individual choices, then just have a look on our website and explore it in more detail. What's also very important is you can mix and match. By mix and matching, what I mean by that is that of those 39 courses, the 28 A-levels and the 11 BTECs, you can do any combination of those that's right for you. And I'll stress that, any combination that is right for you. We don't sort of say, oh, you can pick one out of this pot, and if you pick one out of this pot, you can then pick one out of that pot. So we're not excluding any subjects. Again, that's really important. As I said earlier on, if you're trying to prepare yourself for a degree level study or for the very, very, very competitive modern apprenticeships out there, you've got to make sure you've done the right subjects that give you access to those courses, but also the right subjects that will allow you to excel. So because we are a specialist institution, we can do that. And we also do some subjects which might be new to you, that you would not have experienced at GCSE. The ones that spring to mind for that, psychology. It's a very, very popular subject at the college, sociology, law, and there's many others that you may not have seen at school, but are very, very popular at the college and do open up a whole array of opportunities post-college. So that gives you a bit of a flavour for the college. I'm going to say a little bit more in a few moments, but we're now going to sort of let you have a virtual tour of the college. Now, the young student who's going to give you this tour is Holly, and she is our head student. And you may see Holly later on as well. But in the meantime, let's have a look at Holly's virtual tour of the college.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm the head student here at college. It only seems like 5 minutes ago I was in your shoes, making decisions about what to do after year 11. I'm here to take you around the college today and show you why I think coming here was the best decision I ever made. The teachers are lovely, the classes are so fun and interesting, and I promise you'll make friends straight away. So come on, let's go and take a look.
I hope you enjoy your tour around college. Before we start, let me tell you some information about the courses that we offer. We offer over 39 different courses in A-level and BTEC options. The teachers are specialists in their subjects, and you can study your subjects in any combination that you choose. Teachers are friendly and also strive to make you do well in your subjects. It's a positive, respectful atmosphere here at the college, and I'm sure you will enjoy yourself.
Along with the subjects that you'll be familiar with from your GCSEs, the college also offers some others that you probably won't have had the chance to study before. So for example, I take law, and I've loved it from the very first lesson, learning all about the different cases and aspects and how they're relevant to our everyday lives. But don't just take my words for it though. Let's go and chat to some others and see what they think.
My favourite subject at the college is history because I enjoy learning about the past and how we've got to where we are today. My favourite subject would be media studies because I find the work alright and I get on well with the teacher in the class.
My favourite subject is sport because I love sport and it's what I want to do as a career.
My favourite subject is English literature because we get to learn about more advanced texts and you can get really stuck into them.
I really enjoy doing music because it's got like the creative aspect and you can kind of, do what you want with it.
My favourite subject is chemistry because I feel very engaged in the lessons.
The support that we get here as students is second to none. There's a team of dedicated tutors whose job is to support you personally so that your teachers can concentrate solely on teaching you your subjects. Let's go meet some of them.
Hi, I'm Jo. I manage the student development team and my team is made up of a number of tutors who are here to support you throughout your time at college. Tutors at college are very different to form tutors in school because we don't teach any subjects, which means we're here 100% of the time to help you settle into college and really get the best out of your time here. So get your application in and we'll look forward to meeting you at interview.
Hi, I'm James. I manage the Learning Support team and Safeguarding. We're here to support you out of class with any additional learning support needs that you have. We offer in and out of class support, so we're there right the way through the year to help you with your studies. Look forward to seeing you soon.
There are so many things going on in college that isn't just your lessons. Let's go meet some of the people who are in charge of running things outside the classroom. Hey Jordan!
There are lots of different things you can get involved in outside of your college timetable, from sports, clubs, societies and volunteering opportunities. It's a great way to meet new friends and learn a new skill when you join us in September. Speak to one of our ambassadors around college and find out what their experience was like getting involved in enrichment.
And one of the activities is the Gold Duke of Edinburgh's Award. Every year I take loads of students out to the Welsh Mountains on their Gold Derby and bring them back as well. We have a great time from rain or shine and it's fantastic to have on your CV.
Not all clubs are sporty. You can get creative with arts and crafts or play games such as Dungeons and Dragons.
And last but not least, let's meet our principal, Mike.
I hope you've enjoyed your virtual tour of the college and you now understand a little bit more about what it is that we do here and also what we can offer you. The decision you're about to make is an extremely important one, but it's also a difficult one. So please make sure you take the time to understand what we offer here and what the options are that we have that will be right for you. This is going to be an important decision, perhaps all the more important now in terms of these difficult times that we're in. So take your time, understand what it is that you need, understand what we can offer and make the decision which is right for you. I hope to see you in September.
I hope you've enjoyed your virtual tour around the college and that you can see it's so much different from high school. Everyone's here to help you settle in and succeed, and honestly, there's no better place to be. So embrace your future and come and join us in September.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I think it's always great to hear the students talk about their experiences of the college and to see some of the sort of staff also saying what it is that they do to help the college become a full experience. I want to just sort of spend a few moments now talking about our approach. And I think that's really important. If you're going to commit to this college, then you're going to be committing yourself to a particular way of working. And I think it's really important that we tell you what that is. So our approach is first and foremost values driven. Now, I expect a lot of organisations out there talk about themselves being values driven, but we absolutely are. Our values run through every single thing that we do. Now, from the way in which we construct our timetables and our courses, to the people we employ, to the way we interact with them. So let me tell you a little bit about those values. We have 4 core values at this college. The first is the value of positivity. Now, when we talk about positivity, what we are referring to is this absolute evidence-driven knowledge that each and every one of you can actually excel. We know that you have the potential to do really well because that's what the science of learning tells us. We understand that it might be harder for some than for others, depending upon what past experiences you've had, what level of commitment you've had in the past. But we know that each one of you has the immense capacity to excel. And that's not an empty way of thinking, because what it then results in is us having expectations of you. And we have tremendous expectations of you because we know what you're capable of delivering. And so that takes us to our second value, which is the value of ambition. Because we know what you can do, we're ambitious for you to achieve it. And that means that we set you tasks and make demands of you to try and fulfill that. And I would stress that this is not necessarily an easy place to be, because we expect you to work. We expect you to work, we require you to work, and we push you to work. But sitting alongside that, positivity and that ambition is a whole array of levels of support that I'll touch upon later on. But we don't just have these lofty sort of ambitions for you and then just leave you to struggle. We surround you with support to ensure that you can achieve those ambitions. And then resilience. I think, one of the things that we've seen in this last year is just how resilient you as young people can be. We've always known that. We've always known that young people are more resilient than some people like to give them credit for. You often hear people in the media talking about, oh, young people today, they're lacking this, lacking that. The people that say that are the people who actually don't spend much time with young people. I've always known that you young people out there have tremendous resilience. I think you've proven that in what you've been able to manage this last year. And you'll prove it once again when you come to this college, and you'll sort of stick to our motto of just keeping on, and never ever giving up, but always having the right support to ensure that you're working in the right direction. And then the fourth of our values is thoughtfulness. When we talk about thoughtfulness, we mean it in two different ways. First, and perhaps most importantly, we're thoughtful emotionally. And that is that we want this to be and it is, a safe and supportive environment. So this is a place where we expect people to be kind to each other. We will be challenging to you, but we'll never be unkind. This will be an environment where you can be yourself. You're free to express yourself. This is a place that is completely intolerant of one thing, and that is intolerance. We want you to be able to flourish, to be the young person you want to be, and we ensure you have the environment in which to do that. The second way we interpret that word thoughtfulness, that value of thoughtfulness, is in terms of, intellectually thoughtful, cognitively thoughtful, reflective. We think deep and hard about what we do. We think hard about how things are now and how we can move things on to the future. We reflect upon ourselves. We're ready to admit when we get things wrong. We don't have that arrogance that is always sort of saying, yes, we're right. We have the confidence to question what we do and the confidence to be questioned, and therefore to change our actions if so needed. And that probably takes me on to one thing I just want to spend a few minutes talking about, and that's addressing the impact of COVID-19 on your education. You young people who are out there today and the parents sat with them, this last 2 academic years have been 2 academic years when there's been a lot of disruption. It's nobody's fault. Every school out there has done their very, very best to manage this disruption. We've done our best as well. But it is undoubtedly true that over this 2 academic years, you'll be coming to us and you will have an educational deficit. You will have that because the way education has been disrupted and because they haven't had exams at the end of them to push you and develop you. We know that there'll be something lacking. It is not your fault. It does not say anything about you in terms of what you can achieve, but we would be foolish if we didn't do something to try and address that. 2 ways we can address that. First and foremost, our specialist teachers will be the right sort of people to guide you through this next 2 years. But perhaps most importantly is that we're actually changing the entire structure of the college. We are actually significantly increasing the amount of time that each of you will be spending with each of your teachers in each of your subjects. Now, I won't go into the details of that right here and now because it gets a little bit complicated. But the result of that is that for each year you are here, the amount of additional time you have with your teachers will be the equivalent to an extra 7.5 weeks a year. Over the course of your 2 years with us, It will be the equivalent of essentially spending 2.5 years with us. We'll be giving you more contact time, and that's what we call it, the amount of time you spend with your teacher. We'll be giving you more contact time than any other institution in this region. We'll be giving you more contact time than pretty much any institution in the country. And we're doing that because we know we have to make up for what's been missed in the past or missed over this 2-year period. And we know that 2 years do the very, very best we can to make that up with you and for you. I think anybody who does not acknowledge the challenges and the deficits that this 2-year period will have impacted upon you is being foolish. We acknowledge it and we're going to work with you to overcome it and to put it right. So, in terms of summarising the college, well, first and foremost, I want you to have an enjoyable educational experience. I didn't come into education for anything other than my love of what I do. I'm actually a psychology teacher. I was a classroom psychology teacher for 20 years. And I love the discipline that I taught. And that's very much what I want to sort of see in all the teachers who work at this college, because then that becomes the experience that the students have. I want you to come out as well-rounded individuals. But yeah, I'm very, very academically focused. I'm really, really keen on academic excellence, but not at any price. It's got to be an experience which enables you to understand what you do, to enjoy the process of what you do, so you come out as a well-rounded person, not someone who's just learned how to do something, someone who understands what it is you've done in getting there. And I want to have a thorough understanding of the learning processes involved. We want you to become very, very efficient learners. And we actually spend quite a lot of time on what we call the science of learning, helping you understand the best ways of learning all this complex material, being able to revise this complex material, and being able then to show this complex material in the confines of the exam. So we've got a great deal of emphasis upon that. And then I want you to come out with some great grades, and those grades will open up the doors to the next part of your life. So the whole experience has to be one which is multidimensional. We saw earlier on some of our students talking about their experiences. And I think the best way of understanding the college's experience is from the sort of words of our students. You saw her earlier on. She's here for a repeat performance in the flesh. We have Holly. Holly is our head student, and Holly's going to sort of say a little bit about her experience of being a student here. So Holly, just as sort of a way of prompting you, just tell us a little bit about your story, how you came to be a student in this college.
Yeah, of course. So I went to high school in Liverpool for the final years of high school, and what I did was, me and my friends, small group of friends, we all wanted to go to the same college together, but we just weren't too sure which one. So obviously you think Liverpool, they would have a fair few colleges to offer, along with school trips and things as you do in year 11, which you might have done online this year. But we went to all these different colleges, and we eventually came to Birkenhead on just one of the school trips that we had to do. So we went over, and as Mike said earlier on in the presentation, the first thing you do notice is a relaxed atmosphere straight away. So as we were going, trying out our classes, having, do you know when you do the little breakout rooms and things that you've been doing online, when they're in real life, you got to understand your teachers and their way of teaching. It felt, a lot more adultish, if you will. But yes, that's how I came to be here, and I've really enjoyed every minute of it.
And so, Holly comes from Liverpool, and she comes each day. Obviously, most of our students come from the rural area, but we do have, a group that come from Liverpool with you. And what's that journey like?
So obviously, the second I told my, family and friends and people at work that I'm going to college over the water, it seems like a really big deal. It seems like that's going to take you ages. How are you going to get there every day, twice there and back? And I can honestly say it's been no trouble at all. I personally take the public bus because me and my friends live quite close, so we just decided to get that. It stopped in town and things, so we wanted to do that for convenience, really. But there was also a bus route done by the college that you can get yourself. I've tried it. I came by it today actually. And if I could have done it again, I think I would have chosen that route. Only because you'll save not only a lot of money, but also you'll save time as well. There's no waiting around, it comes at an exact time, so I would definitely explore both options, but it is very easy to get to.
And we also have a range of other buses coming in from different parts of the world as well. So whether you live in Neston or whether you live down in Easton, then there's dedicated college buses. So we do try and make it as easy as possible for students to get to the college by having lots of our own dedicated bus services. So there's a couple of topics that we are going to try and sort of address this evening. So first of those is teachers and teaching. So Holly, I'm going to tell you what I think the teacher should be like, and then you're going to tell me what they're actually like, right? And Holly hasn't been bribed or threatened in any way, so she's going to give it as she sort of sees it. So for me, the most important thing is our teachers are specialists. Our A-level teachers, all they do is teach A-levels, and so they get a great mastering of not just that subject, but also of the specification, how it's going to be examined and so on. And that's really important, not just because they need to be expert in it, but students come to a subject and they come from all different angles. And the teacher needs to be able to adapt what they're saying to that person, to answer an array of questions, and to do it in a really sort of confident manner, not to be struggling about, getting a textbook out and trying to figure out what's going on. So that competency is what I imagine a good teacher should be.
Yeah.
Are you going to abuse me of that idea?
No, I'm not going to challenge you. I actually do think the teachers do match up to that expectation, definitely. I think they don't treat the class as one student. They really do dive into each person and understand that person's, level of what they know, like we said before. No person is ever like the same. You're always going to get different people who prefer different methods of teaching, and I honestly do believe that the teachers do adapt to that really well. They answer any questions you have, but to the best of their ability as well. It's not a half-hearted job that they do. They really do go out of their way to supply you with what you need to know, not only academically, but also just around the subject as well. I think they really, really do help you reach the goals that you want.
Right, so Holly, without wanting to put you on the spot,
okay,
right, but there might be a pay rise in this for someone. Just tell me, who's a teacher that you really, really sort of feel you chime with really well?
So my Spanish teacher, Vivian, is brilliant. She is really, really brilliant. She goes above and beyond every single lesson, and not just in the classroom, but outside of it as well. We've got extra mentors from Liverpool University, who she's been in contact with to get those over to help us in a more relaxed environment as well outside of the classroom. She provides us with different sets of homework, and it's not just repetitive and monotonous. It's something to challenge you every single time. And I definitely do believe her methods of teaching and the way she speaks to you as well. It's very, you can tell she enjoys the subject, and you can tell she wants you to enjoy it as well, which I think is so important in a teacher.
Yeah. I think that sometimes I'm about 2 centuries older than Holly, but I can remember when I was at school, particularly at school, I felt that some of my teachers just didn't want to be there, they were a sorry excuse for the profession. But we've moved on at a greater pace, and we want enthusiastic people who love the subject. It's great that you're able to refer to that in your own experiences. Next topic, support. So we have a whole array of different types of support. In terms of academic support, I talked about the teachers, but we have different other levels of academic support. We have a mentoring program. Holly mentioned some of the mentors that Spanish have from the university, but in many subjects we have academic mentors, and that sort of supplements what's happening in the class. I've already sort of said that we're going to have more contact time than pretty much any other college or school in the country next year, but even to that we're going to be able to add on the mentoring program, and that's where a student will have a one-on-one experience with someone from university, and that's able to just sort of fine-tune what it is that they know. We have a fantastic pastoral system When you come here, everybody will get their own tutor, and that tutor is responsible essentially for looking after you. And also they will be in contact with you as parents, so that will be your point of contact in the college. We have learning support, so if those people who have some additional needs, we have 14 learning support assistants who are able to attune the experience being in college to any particular individual needs that you have. We take great pride on the capacity we have in that area. And then we have all sorts of other additional supports beyond that. It's really is too much to mention, or too much to sort of mention in full. But Holly, have you benefited from any of the support in college?
Yeah, definitely. The ones that I can think of just from the top of my head straight away is there's three. So the first one is the tutor. Definitely, it's made such a difference to me in college because the tutors are like specifically there to help you with things such as applications. There's CV support, there's things like that. I can't touch on that too much because I haven't really used that support system in college, but with the tutors especially, before we do the UCAS application, which is, you get so much help with that and about university, you know, financially, kind of even they'll teach you about the student life there and things at different universities. But there was something called Unifrog, which was more of a relaxed and chilled atmosphere of learning about universities and careers and salaries and what you think will suit you. So there's that. And in school, I know I've touched on Spanish before, but outside of my actual Spanish, grammar lesson, we do Spanish speaking with a native. A Spanish native, and that makes the world of difference. Even little things like that, I think, completely changes, your college experience, because not only are you getting that teaching, you're also getting just that little bit extra as well to really, allow yourself to enjoy things and to feel as though you succeed in things each day.
Yeah, and so the array of support available means that Holly's going to take advantage of some types of support, and other students will take advantage of other types of support. And I think that having that vast array of different elements of our support structure is really important. Next thing, careers. Whilst we want the students to enjoy the time here and we enjoy them being here, we're also that sort of thinking mindset, what are they going to move on to? So we have a number of qualified careers advisors who work full-time at the college. And you've already mentioned the sort of the UCAS support that we get at college. So in terms of careers, the support you've had, where has that led you to thinking you might want to go next year?
So next year, I want to go and do a triple subject. So it's like a triple language subject at university, studying Spanish, French, and Italian. And I've had the one-to-one support of my tutor so much, where they'll speak to you about your experiences and also what you've done in the past as well. So they'll ask you things about if you've worked, if you haven't, what things would make you a good candidate for each job. So I would love to go into the teaching industry eventually, and I think that with my one-to-one with my tutor, I feel well equipped and I know how to get to that next level in my career.
And I think that's really important, because you talked about that one-on-one, as well as all the systems. Holly mentioned Uniform, which is essentially an application that helps you understand the university process and how to apply. But nothing substitutes one-on-one. Nothing substitutes talking to a person about what the experiences might be like and helping you find the right path. And so with that, you hopefully are going to be able to be moving on to do Spanish, Italian, and French.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. And so the next topic is opportunities. And for that, I really want to look at the wider opportunities. We talk about the college experience, and we are so focused on the academic outcomes, but college has got to be more than that. And we have a whole range of clubs and societies. We have academic ones like, the speaking club and the debating club. We have social clubs, we have, the gaming club, and we have a whole range of other ones. And we have a whole range of sports. So, Holly, in terms of opportunities outside of the academic elements, what have you done at college?
So first of all, there was a college production which was perfect for me. It was of Greece. Sadly, we didn't get to perform it because of COVID, but for the months, I think it's about 5 months before that, we were practicing every day. It was such a good experience, and for me to love drama but not study it, it was really good for me to be able to do something that I didn't actually study, academically. So there was that. I got to go to Spain for a school trip where we stayed with a Spanish couple and 2 Americans they were doing university there, who I'm still friends with now. So there was that as well. And another thing which I think is a really, really, really good opportunity I've had was I actually ran a Spanish club along with 2 people from my class, which was showing us, how to be leaders, how to use our leadership, as well as using our passion for the subject to teach others in the lower year group, to help them with their studies, because we've been through that year, we understood it, we've grown from that year, and to be able to use and reflect back on what we've learned and help others, I think that was a really good opportunity. So if you could do that, I would say yes.
And I mean, Holly sort of mentioned the Greece production. I mean, that was absolutely tragic. As she sort of said, they spent 5 months putting this fantastic show together. And I saw part of it because they did full dress rehearsals. And not only was it brilliant, you were brilliant in it as well, Holly. And then it was literally the week it was supposed to be performed live, it was a week went into lockdown.
It was like the day before.
Yeah.
The day before it got cancelled. It was awful.
But we talked about resilience. Was it the day before it was cancelled, did the full dress rehearsal, even though you knew it would go on?
Yeah, so we knew it had to be cancelled to the audience, but we all got into the spirits in the dressing room. We were a little sad, but we all got in and did the full rehearsal and got it all filmed. So yeah.
And that just sort of shows the resilient attitude. And you've still got the memory because you've got the recording of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's the areas we want to cover. I did sort of say that if there was any questions that came in, we will do our best to answer those. I know that we've had someone monitoring the comments and the website. So I believe, as if by magic, a few have been handed to me. So this is some of the questions. Is learning support available for people who want it? We have vast arrays of learning support. First and foremost, for those people who have any statemented needs and have an education and healthcare plan, we have specialists who can support those. And then for other people who feel that they have some area they need to work on, we have additional capacity which allows that to be fulfilled as well. So I'm pretty confident we can meet all the needs that anybody may have, or any of the areas that people really want to focus on. Are the grade expectations the same since before COVID? That's a really interesting question, because you might find this odd. As I said earlier on, I'm very, very academically driven, but I actually don't really focus that much on grades. I also say to the student, when I should teach my own students and to staff, focus on the process. Get the process right, get the learning right, get the preparation right, and the grades will take care of themselves. So if you sort of say to me, what are your expectations of grades? My expectations are that the grades at Carroll have been as fantastic as they have next year after and year after that, because we will not change our focus on the process and getting the process right. And then, are the university mentors all local? Or can you outsource from further afield? All our student mentors are local. They come from Liverpool University, John Moores University, and 1 or 2 others. And that just makes it easy for them, because they have to come over a couple of times a week, and really can't have anybody outside the area fair on there. I have been impressed by other sixth forms having their former students come back and share their experiences. Does your college give access to your past pupils? We have, sometimes you can't sort of move down the college for tripping over past students. We do have a lot of students that come back, and actually, indeed, quite a lot of our staff are former students. I think that says quite a lot. They actually haven't been students here. They want to come back and work here. And we also have a lot of students who come back and do the mentoring, for example, we mentioned earlier on, coming back and giving talks. One of our ex-students is actually on our governing body now. So I think that's this whole sense of us being a family. We're a community and an extended family. And I think that sort of shows in the way in which people, long after they've gone, want to come back, and indeed we really welcome them back. And Holly will go to look for university now. I really hope it's not the last we see of her, and she'll be obviously welcome back whenever she wants to come. So I think that's the questions that are the general questions. I think I've been told there's some very specific questions for individuals, and where they are, we'll give you an individual answer to those questions. I was told I shouldn't make this last more than 40 minutes. So we're pretty bang on 40 minutes now. First and foremost, Holly, thank you. It's been fantastic having you here. Just having a student perspective is great, but also just giving the people who are viewing it at home a little bit of a rest from me, I think would be much welcome as well. The final thing I would sort of say is that if you haven't applied already, please make sure you get your application in. We are oversubscribed every year. We do these promotional events because we want people to know about the college, because we want people to have the opportunity to come to the college, but we are oversubscribed. So get your application in now. If you get your application in now, you should be pretty confident we'll be able to offer you a place, but that won't last for very much longer. So I hope that this has been informative for you. I hope that it's answered some of your questions. If there's anything else you need to know, just get in touch with the college. And other than that, I can't wait to get to a situation where I can see you all physically, and I hope that will be this coming September. So thank you and have a lovely evening.